Hi everyone. I'm starting again with something simple, just speaking freely and rebuilding my confidence step by step. Today, I'm not trying to be perfect, I'm just trying to be present. And if you are watching this, maybe you also paused something in your life, your goals, your habits, and your dreams. And here's the truth, you don't need a perfect restart, you just need a restart. Today, I'm back with my public speaking practice, day 4. And let's begin with the topic, the power of saying no. Have you ever said yes when your heart quietly said no? Not a loud no, not a dramatic no, but a small silent no to yourself. I want to tell you something very personal today. A moment in my life when I said yes and it changed everything. When I was younger, I had a dream. A simple life, close to home, familiar faces, familiar streets. But life does not always ask what you want. Sometimes it asks what you can afford to lose. And I didn't want to go abroad. Everything inside me said stay. But my family had some financial pressures and I thought if I go, maybe I can help. Maybe it will be better for all of us. So I said the smallest word, yes. I remember the day I left. The airport felt too big. Maybe my luggage felt too heavy. But the heaviest thing I carried was not in my hands. It was in my chest. At first, I convinced myself I was strong. I told myself this is sacrifice. But the sacrifice has a strange way of testing you. It does not ask once, it asks every single day. New country, new language, new expectations, and in all of that noise, I started losing something quietly, myself. And here's the funny part. Back then, I thought I was being responsible. But I was saying yes to responsibility and no to peace. I even became good at pretending. When people asked, are you okay? I said yes, everything is fine. And that was my favorite lie. And I got very good at it. Actually too good. But inside, something kept whispering. You didn't choose this life fully. You accepted it. One night, I sat alone. Everyone else was asleep. The room was silent. And for the first time, I asked myself a question I had been avoiding. If I keep saying yes to everything, how much of me will be left? The question didn't hurt. The answer did. Because I realized something very powerful. Not every yes is freedom. Some yes is a fear, wearing responsibility as a mask. And that's when I understood something I wish I had known earlier. Every meaningful yes requires courageous no. No to pressure, no to fear, no to expectations that erase you. But let me be honest with you. I didn't say no at that time. I didn't reveal. I didn't change everything overnight. Life does not always give you clean endings. Sometimes it gives slow awareness and slowly I started learning something new. I started saying no in small ways. No to overcommitting. No to pretending I was fine when I was not. No to losing myself just to keep others comfortable. And every small no gave me a little piece of myself back. Now let me ask you something. How many of you have said yes when you wanted to say no? And how many of you are still carrying that yes today? Because here is the truth. A life without no is a life without boundaries. And a life without boundaries slowly becomes a life without identity. I used to think saying no would make me selfish. But I learned something different. Saying no is not rejection. It is protection. It protects your time, your energy, your future, and most importantly, yourself. Today, I don't regret coming abroad, but I respect the lessons it taught me. Not every opportunity is alignment. Not every responsibility is yours to carry. And not every yes is wise. So, if I could speak to my younger self at the airport, I would tell him gently, it's okay to say no. Even to people you love, even to situations that look responsible. But if you lose yourself in the process, nothing you build will feel like home. And maybe that's what I want to leave you with it today. You will say yes many times in your life, but choose carefully because every yes is also a no to something else. Say yes to your values. Say yes to your growth. Say yes to your peace. But don't be afraid to say no to anything that slowly makes you disappear. Because the strongest life you can build is not the one where you said yes to everything. It is the one where you finally learned when to say no. And that is the real power of saying no. Thank you.